Hello everyone, the title of today's passage is Jesus heals a crippled woman on the Sabbath. Luke's Gospel chapter 13 verses 1 to 17. Verse 10, on a Sabbath. Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman was there who had been crippled by a spirit 18 years. She was bent over and could not straight up at all. Can you imagine how serious her status was? She had been suffering for 18 years like this way. This is pitiful. This is a really sorrowful situation. I think to the eyes of creation, to the Creator's eyes, it was really compassionate. Compassionate. It might make Jesus to be compassionate. 12. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Jesus, right away, the willingness came out from his heart, and Jesus decided to heal her infirmity. So proclaimed, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." 13. Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. Indignant because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath, the synagogue leader said to the people, "There are 6 days for work, so come and be healed on those days, not on the Sabbath." The synagogue leader who were there couldn't accept what Jesus did. Actually, as God himself, as the Messiah, Jesus as the Savior, came to save all mankind from the sin and death. Actually, Jesus' mind was willingly healing for the woman who was bent and who was not straightened up. However, the leader of synagogue couldn't tolerate violation that Jesus did in front of him. So he was furious and said, "There are 6 days for work, so come and be healed on those days, not on the Sabbath." 15. The Lord answered him, "You hypocrite! Doesn't each of you on the Sabbath untie your ox or donkey from the stall and lead it out to give it water?" Actually, this is a very usual thing. Untie and feed animal to drink water. However, this one. 16. Then should not this woman, a daughter of Abraham, who Satan has kept bound for 18 years, be set free on the Sabbath day from what bound her? This is the same situation. Even animal, we have a compassionate heart. Untie the animal and lead it out and give it out to give it water. Lead it out to give it water. How come you ignore this woman, daughter of Abraham, whom was suffering, whom Satan had kept bound for 18 long years? Why don't Why don't you have such pity? Why don't you have such a compassionate heart? Why don't you have? 17. When he said this, all his opponents were humiliated, but the people were delighted with all the wonderful things he was doing. People who were there understood what Jesus said. However, all the opponents, the synagogue leaders, teachers of the law, and Pharisees were humiliated because of Jesus' rebuke. Jesus' rebuke. So, what can we learn from this episode? We must have such heart that Jesus showed us on the Sabbath, healing others, healing. Let people out to give. Let people out to give it the living water. This is amazing. We must listen to Jesus' word. Thank you for listening to Isaac Bible Class.